Yo, yo, yo. Hey, we back at it again. And like always, I'm Murk.
And I'm Murkette.
And today, man, we just checking into what's going on in the world. And of course, everybody know the queen is dead.
Which brought about a good question.
Is being a queen dead?
Is the queen dead?
Is the queen dead? And what we mean by that, like today's society, like at one time it was like an honor to be like a queen. But today's society is like women running away from what it was to used to be a queen. I guess we can start off with defining maybe what we perceive to be a queen. For me, I always established a queen as hierarchy. So what gave me the impression or gave me the vibe that this person is a queen is how untouchable I thought they were. Because in essence, queens could only be touched by kings. You know what I mean? You had to be a king to get a queen. So if I was to see a woman and I thought she entertained peons or
just
gestures
too many people anyway
and stuff like that, then I would be like, she's not someone that would be for me as consider myself to be in a king status, a king way of life. So for me, I define the queen as just how untouchable she was, because it took a king to come along, and kings, in my belief, are very far and few between. So it would be impossible for a queen to be touched so many, be easily accessible to just anybody.
And I just feel like a queen has a strong presence, not even intentionally, but just in the way that she carries herself. A queen also is respected by a lot of people. And when I say respected, I just mean respected in how she lived and how she carried herself and things like that. Like, people respect you because you are this type of person.
Let me add in there, respect does not mean you have to be liked, because
being
being respected often comes with not being disliked.
They always say, you ain't gotta like me, but you gonna respect me.
So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're not like everybody else, when you're setting yourself apart, when you got certain boundaries that normal people don't have, there will be a lot of people who don't like you, but they still will respect you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Story of my life.
So, you know,
and I mean, I ain't gonna say people don't like me, but I just set certain goals. I set certain standards for myself that are, even to myself, almost feel like they're unattainable, but I do it purposely because I know I can achieve those goals. But also I know that it puts me in a category of a very small percentage of prestigious women who's just gonna go get it.
So I think when I am bringing that back full circle to, as the queen did, it's a hard one to really know, but if you go by social media and platforms like that, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean, it's this thing now where the women that took pride in being queens and serving a king and being aligned with a king and stuff like that, have now, they want to run the throne on their own.
Yeah.
They want to turn kingdoms into queendoms. You know what I mean?
I was gonna bring that word up.
They want to, and the worst part is, for me, just going on social media, queens sat upon a throne and were entertained by the gestures and stuff. And now it seems that the people who's supposed to be queens are entertaining gestures.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it feels. You know what I mean? They used to say a queen doesn't come off her throne to throw rocks at peons. You know what I mean? So it's like now the people that are self-declared queens, if you really look at them, they're entertaining gestures. And these women find it hard to be in the presence of a king because a king has certain standards and status and won't be entertained by stuff that entertains a gesture.
And a lot of them just have a difficult time being submissive because they want to be the dominant one. But in a household or in a situationship, relationship, kingdom, the queen is always going to be the helpmate of the king.
Yeah.
So.
And we actually we had hit on that the other day. We were just randomly talking, And it was like, for me, my belief is a true king does not make his queen weak. So her submission is not weakness. So anything that the king is part of and involved of and knows, he should be sharing that with the queen. And this will empower the queen. And so if the king ever fell sick, the king ever had to step down, or the king died, the queen would possess all the knowledge and skills and strengths of the king
to run the kingdom,
to be able to run things. You know what I mean? I always tell her, she has to know how I think, so that if I could not make decisions, she would know how to make the decision that I need to be made
in your absence.
Right? You know what I mean? So for me, I think, if you go by social media, queens are dead. You know what I mean? But I will throw in there this. The reason I say the perception from social media is just as dead, because often what happens is the queens aren't up there. So you get a saturated market of, you know what I mean? This is where the non-queens hang. You know what I mean? So when you're going and you're viewing places where the non-queens hang and display their non-queen qualities, you're getting just that because the queens aren't up there displaying
certain things.
The queens, you know what I mean? They say sometimes if you're looking for a good man and looking for a good woman, they're not in certain locations. But if you go to the location, you're going to say there's no good men, there's no good women. That's because they don't hang in those locations. So the queens don't hang in the social media world like that and do the social media stuff that the non-queens who self-proclaim to be queens do. So that would sway your perception, I think.
And a lot of times he's been saying social media, social media, social media. But this is the era of social media. And I feel like there's a lot that we probably wouldn't have known about somebody if it weren't for social media, or some people, because people are quick to get on social media and be like, oh, that's not even me. That's just that's just somebody that I proclaim to be. I just be joking. But there's always some truth in that. And you look at the consistency of it. You know what I mean? So you can say I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. But if you're not exhibiting those characteristics of a queen, you're not a queen.
I'm almost a firm believer that you probably can go to that average person page or social medias and go through their last 10 posts and and you can sum that person up.
Oh yeah.
You can get a real view of that person. Kings don't celebrate certain stuff. They don't spread certain stuff. Queens who are of queen status don't do that. I always said you'll never find a woman who's in a happy relationship commenting or sharing a post that men ain't this and men ain't that.
Or I don't need no man.
You know what I mean? But there'll be a woman who would say, I posted this, but it's not a reflection of me. And that's a
I just know somebody that's going through
it.
Is what they typically say.
But if your household is secure, you happy with your partner, you're not gonna post stuff like that. You know what I mean? People with money don't post certain stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just how a reflection of life is. You gotta relate in some sense. You know what I mean?
And the big thing is consistency. You know, because somebody might post something here or something there, but you're gonna be able to see their real character by their day to day and how they live. That's like with us. We got a lot of people that don't even know us, that follow us, that be in our inbox saying, man, I love y'all. Y'all my favorite social media couple. And it's because of the way that we carry ourselves. It's because of the way that we uplift others. And most importantly, the way we uplift ourselves and each other. That is the big thing. One thing I always say to him is, a lot of times people don't even really know when we have a disagreement or something like that. And we do have them, but people don't know it because we settle that among ourselves off of social media. You know, and that's a true characteristics of a king and a queen. You're not putting it all out there. You know what I mean? You have that maturity to handle things.
The big thing that separates, I think, king and queen is to be a king and queen. You gotta have a future in mind. Everything is connected, and the future is in mind. So you don't never want to take a step that could hinder your future. So we would never put anything out there and to publicize and discuss things that after we resolved it, after we fixed it, after we moved on, the world hasn't moved on from it. The world is still holding us to it and judge. You know what I mean? So for me, I'll say if you just going off of social media, look at queens are dead. But,
very rare anyway. But a lot of women, they walk around, I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen. The thing about it is, if you're a queen, you typically don't have to say that. Because everything about you is gonna manifest that, and people are gonna feel that. They're gonna get that.
A certain respect.
Yeah, exactly.
A certain
attention.
You know what I mean?
A lot of times, people that are
they say the young girl desire attention, and the woman desires respect. You know what I mean?
I kind of talk about that all the time. I hate it when I go out in town. I cannot go out somewhere without somebody bothering me. And it drives me nuts. I come home and I complain to him all the time. He gets so sick of it. But that's not my thing. I don't like attention. It doesn't fill me to go out in town and people hitting on me constantly like that. Like, that doesn't drive me. If anything, and a lot of times it's very inappropriate or disrespectful. Yo, shorty, and
as I've got older, I'm going through my head like crazy.
So you enjoy it?
I don't get the double takes like I used to in the stands.
He's not being honest.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not being honest, honey. You come home and you tell me about, babe, I went to Burger King and the whole crew came to the window.
25. I was like 25, early 30s. Man, true story. They used to ask me to go to restaurants with my homeboys, because they knew I could get them free food. Like, that's just how.
But wait, we gotta save that for another time. That's the king. We talking about the queen right now.
So, you know,
let's keep it on the queen.
I just think, you know what I'm saying, the queen, she doesn't really care about attention. She just wants her respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She doesn't. And as first stated, queen now is gonna be like, the queen gonna make queen decisions, queen moves, and if you can't understand that, you're gonna at least have to respect it. You don't gotta like it, so you're gonna have to respect.
But for the most part, the people that dislike or hate or whatever is typically women that are kind of beneath the queen.
Well,
it ain't a lot. It ain't a whole lot of men.
You know what we always say though.
Women.
We don't. I don't even get mad at non-kings and queens because I don't expect them to do king and queen.
Yeah.
Like, for me to expect that in is to be taking away the value
of a real queen.
I'm taking the value away from my queen if I'm thinking that these non-queens is gonna move like her.
Right.
She moves like she moves because she's special. You know what I'm saying? So in the same side, a king moves the same way. So, you know, that's just my thoughts. That's just our thoughts.
So yes, collectively, I guess we can agree that the queen is dead. The queen is really dead, or is a dying breed. Yeah, I would say that that's more. It's a dying breed.
It's a dying breed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But we encourage women to, you know, it don't matter what type of lifestyle you lived before and all that. I think that anybody can really be a queen if they manifest them. If they make that decision that's what they want to be.
That Cinderella. You know? Cinderella, you just gotta find the slipper that fits you.
Well, you gotta want it first of all.
What I'm saying? Find the slipper that fits you and step into it.
And a lot of times, guess what? Sometimes you don't even know what you possess until you get with the right partner, and then he can help to transform you into that queen that you didn't even know you could be.
That's a hard one there.
It's a hard one, but guess what? I've seen it happen.
Oh
yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? That's just being honest.
No, I agree. Especially nowadays, as we're getting older
kings
too.
Ain't out here looking for like we ain't looking to build no queens. You know what I'm saying? You at least gotta
like having a kid.
You at least gotta be a princess. You know what I mean? You at least gotta be a princess already. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So like she said, I think that's some of her best. I think we ain't gonna say they dead, but I think it's a dying.
It's a dying breed.
Yeah, so if you got one, hold on to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because guess what? Them betas sitting back waiting. Yeah. Waiting for you to mess up, and they gonna scoop her right up. Trust and believe. Right. And guess what? They might not all be betas. They might be some sigmas, might be some alpha males. But either way, people will recognize what you have. And if you don't recognize it, they gonna definitely recognize it.
Protect your king and protect your queen. And like we said, queens ain't dead, but it sure as hell dying breed.
Definitely.
So let's try to see if we can help and change it before they go
uplift some. I know, God. It's a lonely road, honey.
But like always, this has been Murk.
And I'm Murkette.
And we enjoyed y'all, man, and keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming, man. Dun, 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 dun.